Alright guys, so we're re-uploading the Alpha Foxtrot uh, Romulus video, and the reason why I want to do that is because I want to give you my actual first true impression, because now that I've got through 600 rounds, there's a couple things that I want to talk about, and I also want to fix a mistake that I made in a previous upload, which I did delete, and I took everything that, you guys were commenting, and I wanted to go ahead and fix everything and have the final product. All right, so first off, let's talk about the characteristics of the pistol. The pistol is a steel frame, steel slide, and nice, beautiful DLC coating. It's also got a polymer grip, so you can remove the grip and change it out for a new one if you feel like it. But yeah, that was the mistake. I said that this was aluminum. I'm thinking of the platypus. Don't know why. Maybe it was because I was watching a video of the platypus before I started making this video, or that video at least. But it was the platypus versus the Bull Armory Tac Pro, I believe, or maybe it was the EDC. I don't remember. And then versus a Staccato P, and those were all up against each other, and that's where I made a mistake of aluminum frame. But this is stainless steel frame. So you have a full steel firearm, and it shot reliably 100% of the time. I did not have any hiccups with this thing. It slides so smoothly. It doesn't really get caught up on anything. No, it doesn't really get caught up on anything. So, it works just fine. This thing was very well machined, and I love that DLC coating. I just love how shiny that is, And then you also see the Romulus banner right there, and if you go to the other side, you got the Alpha Foxtrot banner right there. So, the slide serrations, absolutely phenomenal. They do come with night sights, which I'll be talking about later. It also does come with an optics cut, so you can mount anything with the RMSC footprint. And then you also have a flat face trigger, so it's skeletonized, which is pretty cool. I love those skeletonized triggers. Well, it's skeletonized. It's like half skeleton, half, it's got some solidity to it. But you also do have this checkering. You have it on the trigger guard. You have it on the trigger itself. I don't know if you guys can see it. And then you also have it right here in the front, and where the mainspring housing is right here. As speaking of the grip, it's absolutely phenomenal. Even after my hands got oily or they got sweaty after shooting the 600 rounds, this thing shot like a dream the entire time, and it did not slip out of my hands. I loved it, and everybody who shot it with me also loves it. So they absolutely adore this pistol, and I do too. It does come with one MBX magazine that is a 19 round magazine capacity. And then I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the bull barrel actually is DLC coated as well. I even show you, but yeah, it's also DLC coated. But speaking of which, bull barrel, it's got a 2-piece guide rod, so you do need an Allen wrench in order to get inside of this thing. Am I a fan of that? Not really. I prefer bushing barrels, and that's just because of how simplistic it is to go ahead and take it apart and put it back together. But otherwise, it's not bad that I got that we have a 2-piece guide rod in here. It's not really my preference though. But anyway, you do have this giant mag well right here, so it'll be very easy for you to slip those magazines in. Yes, I do have rounds in here, so I'm not going to put it inside. But we also have a Picatinny rail you can put on here. I'm opting to get the TLR1. And I have a reason for it. But right now I'm not really going to disclose that because that's not what this video is about. But anyway, I'm going to get a TLR1 for this thing. I do like how the Picatinny rail goes all the way to the front instead of it ending about halfway, and then you have just that little bit of space that has nothing there, you know? So it does give you a wider range of, you know, lights that you can put on there, and it'll be able to stick on better. But anyway, you do have a slide. I'm pointing at the safety. You have a safety extension versus the other side where it's not as stuck out. So if you're a left-handed shooter, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble. Not really. I think I can actuate the safety no problem. But if you are a right-handed, it makes it so much easier, right? I can do that all day. So that's something that I really like. It's also got an extension for the slide stop. So whenever you are reloading, you don't have to break your grip in order to actuate that slide stop. You can keep your grip there and just, right? And yes, I did that on screen. So please rail me on the comments if you feel like, oh, you're going to break the gun, this, that, and the other. If it's exploding the entire time and doing that same action, I think it's okay if I do it without a round, okay? But anyway, I'll get into why I do the things that I do with my guns, and it's because, you know, it's just a tool. I can fix a tool, you know, it's easy. But anyway, so yeah, this thing, absolutely phenomenal. The accuracy is great. The recoil mitigation due to the heavy weight towards the front, absolutely phenomenal. It's very flat. It's very flat. It does not shake in my hands all that much. So I love this thing to death. With that being said, we do have a couple gripes about this thing. And now, before we get into the gripes, no, this thing did not have any hiccups. So if you are wondering if this thing is like the Springfield Prodigy, it's not built like it. It's not built as cheaply, and it's manufactured machined very well. Alpha Foxtrot, I would definitely have to say that they are one of the higher quality pistol manufacturers. They do also have They do also have PCCs and ARs, but mainly their main lineup is pistols, and they're actually coming out with, I think, another 2011. I don't know for sure, but check out their website, and you should see coming soon. Oh, these are the lineup of pistols that are coming soon. They also have 10mm 1911s. If you guys are interested in those, and I'm telling you, that gold one is really calling my name, but $1,000 is a lot of money, so I'm gonna wait it out. But anyway, besides the point, the gripes. All right, so for one, we do have the optics plate right here, and it does not sit after 200 rounds. It comes loose. So if you guys want to mount an optic in between your session and start, you know, training with that optic, yeah, just shoot a few rounds, and then you could just twist it with your thumbs, just push down on the plate and just start screwing off the screws, and yeah, you'll be able to take off that plate, put on the optic, and then just put some blue Loctite on those screws and just tighten it down, and you'll be good to go. You don't even need the tool that it comes with. But you know what? If you feel like, you know, you don't want that optic on there and you just want to shoot the plate, go ahead and just go get some blue Loctite and tighten up those screws, and put the blue Loctite on the screws, of course, and then after that, tighten up the screws to spec and just deal with it. Like, after that, you should be fine. I don't think it comes with blue Loctite to begin, and that's why it's coming off so easily. So the other gripe that I had about this thing was, after about 550 rounds, I did shoot 600 rounds for this thing, 100% reliable the entire time. After about 550 rounds, though, like I said earlier, these things have night sights, and they're not seated well in there. So one of them actually just popped out, and it didn't fall out, but it was just like sticking out halfway. It was like, hello, you know, it's kind of like a dog's Peter, you know, it just like sucks in, And then after a while, like when it gets really horny, it's just like the red rocket just slowly slips out. That's exactly what had happened here. It just like halfway comes out, and it was just like waving hi to me. And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing out here? You're supposed to be in there." And I pushed her right back in. Um, but yeah, that was something that I also saw. I'm no longer in the honeymoon phase with this thing. Granted, yes, I do love this pistol to death. This thing is absolutely gorgeous, and it shoots very well. I love how reliable it is. It's very reliable. It's more reliable than the Prodigy, and this thing is about the same price. So maybe $100 difference, but you pay the extra $100, and guess what? You're getting a lot for your money. You know, a flat shooting gun, 4.25 inch, so you can conceal carry this thing, even though it's got that mag well in there, so it will poke a little bit, print a little bit, but I mean overall, really doesn't matter to me. I just wear a sweater or a jacket or something. But yeah, it was just like this thing is phenomenal. It shoots very well, and it's just those minute details that do get to me. Um, Alpha Foxtrot, if you could learn anything from this video or anybody else's video, just put some blue Loctite on there. Like, don't like make it hard, for us to take this thing off. Because if it's coming off just shooting rounds, then yeah, you kind of need to just go ahead and tweak that a little bit. And then that night sight, I don't know if I'm the only one that has that problem, but it just popping out and waving hi to me. I didn't really enjoy the fact that, it wasn't seated in there properly and wasn't staying in there, But overall, I'm not really that pressed about it, because for the money that I paid for, those are very minute problems for a gun that doesn't really have any, I paid cheap, for a 2011 that runs reliably. Of course, there are going to be some drawbacks. There's going to be some fine tuning that they definitely need to do, but the fine tuning isn't in the way it functions, the way it extracts the shells. The fine tuning is in, or the machining, is in this plate coming loose and just like wiggling around, and every time I shoot, I hear the or that little dick hole right there just coming out and saying wee. This thing gets turned on and it's a dude. That's how I know. But yeah, this is a good pistol, and I definitely would have to say, if you guys are in the market for a 2011 and you don't want to break the bank, but you also don't want to go too cheap, like the LFA. I'm not shitting on Live Free Armory. I know that their 2011s are good. I know that they're reliable, but that grip texture looks absolutely horrendous. It looks like fish scales. It looks like a fish blended with a 2011, and they just was like, oh, well, this is what we're going with. And you guys know me about Gerson. I say stay away from them. Now, granted, I don't doubt that they put out, good pistols. It's just, after my whole spiel with the Gerson 1911 MCS, I'm not exactly too enthused about promoting them. But Alpha Foxtrot has my highest recommendation if you're on a cheap budget and you don't want to spend the extra $400 or maybe even $1,000 for a Staccato or a Bull Armory, but you're also not looking to buy something that's super cheap, that's like $1,000 or below. I definitely would say the Alpha Foxtrot Romulus suits your needs. Now, depending on the trim that you get, you could get the 4.25 inch, and that one's 1520. Then you do have the one with the threaded barrel, that's 1570. And then I think it's like the highest price one is like 16 something, and that one is the one with the thread, not the threaded barrel, the compensator. It's got a 5-inch, so it's a 5-inch frame, and then it's got a comp on there. So that one does look like it's worth the money. I don't know for sure. I haven't shot it. Regardless, I definitely would say just go with the cheapest one. Get the 4.25 inch, and it'll suit you just fine. Because you get the essentials. a bull barrel, so it's gonna, you know, keep that weight up in the front. You have a Picatinny rail, so you could put a light on there. It comes optics cut. All the pistols for the Alpha Foxtrot Romulus come optics cut, so you know you already have the essentials right there. And then, you know, just an added feature, you got yourself a magwell. And ultimately, would I say that this is a staccato? You know, no, I can't say that because I haven't experienced it. But I would definitely say that this thing is one of my, if not the best shooting pistol, then definitely up there. I'd have to go back and, you know, shoot my dad's 1911 to really figure that out. I have to come up with a decision at some point. So he has a government model 1911 made by Colt, but he will not let me buy it off him, and I really want it, and he will not give it to me. So, and he bought his for $200. Crazy story, but unfortunately I can't talk about it right now, not unless I get his consent to tell the story. But overall, how he got the pistol, and that pistol shoots reliably 100% of the time. I gave him my Wilson Combat magazines because I knew he needed more, and those are high-end quality magazines, so he got free $80 worth of mags right there. So which, you know, it's only 2 mags, but both of them are $40 each. You know, that's amazing. So yeah, anyway, besides the point, this definitely gets my highest recommendation, the Alpha Foxtrot Romulus. If you want a budget-friendly, reliable, and accurate pistol, I definitely would suggest getting yourself the Alpha Foxtrot Romulus. If not, if you don't want to go expensive, if you don't even have the budget for the Romulus, I'd say go for the TSOS 5-inch double stack duty. And yeah, but get yourself one of these. Just save up the extra coin. Get yourself one of these, because these things, this basically, I would have to say, and this is my last comment about the Alpha Foxtrot Romulus, I would have to say this is the GR86 for the gun world. Hear me out. You have a build your own pistol. Now, this isn't as customizable as the platypus, but if you want to customize the platypus, you are going to pay a pretty penny for it. So that's where that like really ends it for me. $1,400 for the base model 2011 or base model double stack 1911 that takes Glock mags. That sounds great, you know. But I want to pick a tinny rail on there. I want to put a light on there, right? And, you know, I don't mind getting rid or like keeping the stock iron sights. I love the stock iron sights for the double stack 1911, but I want to change the grip texture because that, you know, the current grip texture on there or like the stock one doesn't look all that good. And it doesn't look like it will grip all that well. Do I know anything about it? Have I felt it? No, not really, but it's just the way it looks. It doesn't look like it grips all that well. Looks like it needs some texturing on there, and that's why I wanted the prickle one. There's just so many things that I want to do to it that will start to really add up the price, and then not to mention the wait time, you know. Whereas this thing, it took me 2 weeks to get this thing, and I got what I wanted. You know, a Picatinny rail, optics cut just in case I wanted it. I got a magwell as well as a single 19-round MBX magazine. Now, granted, it's only one magazine, but that's okay. I can buy some Checkmate mags, and it'll definitely equate to these MBX magazines. It's just 2 rounds less. That's all it is. And this thing is a beauty, you know. It runs reliably like my GR86 does, and you can do whatever you want to it. You can change the trigger, you can change the hammer, you can change everything about this pistol. Just know that you won't have any warranty left. But reliable, accurate, and amazing. And it's beautiful. I would definitely say get yourself one of these. Anyway, this is going to be the last uncut video, and I want to say this before I end the video. This is going to be the last uncut, unedited video that I'm going to have, mainly because I know you guys don't want to see these 20+ minute videos where I'm just saying, you know, and I'm just stuttering, trying to figure out my words. So this is going to be the last one. I promise you guys that. And the main reason why is because I just am tired of being lazy. And I want to, you know, give you guys better content out there. And I want to make sure that you are actually into the videos that are coming out, right? So just letting you guys know that now. I'm sorry that I've been lazy, you know, and that's unfortunately my fault. And I'm gonna work on it for you guys because I want you guys to have the best, you know, quality. Now, granted, I'm very poor with my words, and I'm not that funny, but it's okay. You know, as long as you get the point of the video of what I'm explaining and everything like that, I am absolutely fine. You know, that's my end goal. I want to ensure that you guys have the goods, right? So anyway, have a great day, guys. I gotta take a shit. God bless y'all, and I pray that he's with y'all every day of the week.